Tejasri Kosbe, lecturer from Praveen Patil Polytechnic, Bhandar. My topic is measurement of voltage and current, part 1, learning outcomes. In this video, you will learn about different types of torque in analog instrument and methods of producing this torque. So there are three main types of torque in analog instrument, which are deflecting torque, controlling torque and damping torque. So first one is deflecting torque. One important requirement in indicating instrument is the arrangement for producing operating or deflecting torque when the instrument is connected in the circuit to measure the given electrical quantity. This is achieved by utilizing the various effects of electric current or voltage. The deflecting torque causes the moving system to move from its zero position. So basically, deflecting torque is the torque which moves the pointer from its zero position, and this is achieved by using various effects of current or voltage. The deflecting torque is produced by utilizing one or more of the following effects of current or voltage. So first is magnetic effect, which is used in moving iron instrument. So in moving iron instrument, the deflecting torque is produced by using magnetic effect. Electrodynamic effect. So electrodynamic effect is used in moving coil instrument and in dynamometer type instrument. So in these two instruments, deflecting torque is produced by electrodynamic effect. Electromagnetic induction effect is used in induction type instrument, and thermal effect is used in hot wire instrument. Chemical effect in electrolytic instrument. Electrostatic effect is used in electrostatic voltmeter. Next is controlling torque. The controlling torque opposes the deflecting torque and increases with the deflection of the moving system. The pointer comes to rest at a position where the two opposing torques are equal, that is TD equal to TC. So controlling torque is used to control the moment of the pointer. So by deflecting torque, the pointer gets deflected, but it should come to rest so that it indicates the reading. And for that purpose, to control the pointer, controlling torque is required. So controlling torque is opposite to the deflecting torque, and when these two torques are equal, then pointer comes to rest and it shows the reading. The controlling torque performs two functions. Controlling torque increases with the deflection of the moving system so that the final position of the pointer on the scale will be according to the magnitude of an electrical quantity, that is current or voltage or power to be measured. So the first function is to control the moment of the pointer so that it shows the reading, and the next function is the controlling torque brings the pointer back to zero when the deflecting torque is removed. So to bring back the pointer to zero, controlling torque is required. If it were not provided, the pointer once deflected would not return to zero position on removing the deflecting torque. The controlling torque in indicating instruments may be provided by one of the following two methods, which are spring control and gravity control. So controlling torque basically used to control the pointer, and it has main two functions: to control the pointer and to bring back to its zero position. And there are two methods for to produce this torque, which are spring control and gravity control. First is spring control method. So in spring control method, there are springs for controlling purpose. One is connected on the upper end side and another spring is connected in lower end side of the instrument. And balance weight is used to balance the weight of the pointer. So this is the most common method of providing controlling torque in electrical instrument. A spiral hairspring made of some non-magnetic material like phosphor bronze is attached to the moving system of the instrument as shown in figure. So basically the springs which are used for controlling purpose have the material which is phosphor bronze. Springs also serve the additional purpose of leading current to the moving system. With that deflection of the pointer, the spring is twisted in opposite direction. This twist in the spring provides the controlling torque. So these springs are twisted, as such it produces controlling torque to control the movement of the pointer. Since the torsion torque of a spiral spring is proportional to the angle of the twist, the controlling torque is directly proportional to the angle of deflection of pointer, that is theta, that is Tc directly proportional to theta, that is controlling torque is proportional to deflection angle. The pointer will come to rest at a position where controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque, that is Td equal to Tc. In an instrument where the deflecting torque is uniform, spring control provides a uniform scale over the whole range. The balance weight is attached to the counterbalance the weight of the pointer and other moving parts. So where their spring control method is used for controlling purpose, it has normally uniform scale. Next method is gravity control method. In gravity control method, to produce the controlling torque, there is one control weight is provided in the instrument. So here you can see the control weight and the balance weight. The balance weight is used for the balancing purpose to balance the weight of the pointer, and control weight is used for controlling purpose. In this method, a small weight is attached to the moving system which provides necessary controlling torque. In the zero position of the pointer, the control weight hangs vertically downward and therefore provides no controlling torque. So when the pointer is at zero position, the control weight hangs itself vertically downward so that it has no controlling torque. However, under the action of deflecting torque, the pointer moves from zero position and control weight moves in opposite direction. Due to gravity, the control weight would tend to come in original position, that is vertical, and thus provides an opposing or controlling torque. So when the pointer is at zero position, there is no controlling torque. But when by deflecting torque, when the pointer gets deflected from its zero position, then control weight also moves in opposite direction to produce the controlling torque. The pointer comes to rest at a position where controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque. In this method, controlling torque is proportional to the sine of angle of deflection, that is Tc directly proportional to sine theta, because in this method controlling torque is not directly proportional to the angle of deflection, but it is proportional to sine theta. Therefore, gravity control instruments have non-uniform scale being crowded in the beginning. So basically, when the instrument has uniform scale, which means the spring control method is utilized, and when there is gravity control method, then the instrument has non-uniform scale, because in this method controlling torque is directly proportional to sine theta, and in spring control method the controlling torque is directly proportional to the deflection, so that they have uniform scale. Next is damping torque. A damping torque is produced by a damping or stopping force which acts on the moving system only when it is moving and always opposes its motion. Such a torque is necessary to bring the pointer to rest quickly. If there is no damping torque, then the pointer will keep moving to and fro about its final deflected position for some time before coming to rest due to inertia of the moving system. This damping torque acts only when the pointer is in motion and always opposes the motion. The position of the pointer when stationary is therefore not affected by damping torque. The degree of damping decides the behavior of the moving system. So basically, damping torque is used to damp the oscillation, that is to reduce the oscillation and to bring the pointer to its steady position. So it stops the oscillations. Here is one diagram in which you can see three different types of instrument according to the damping torque produced in it. These are underdamped, critically damped and overdamped system. If the instrument is underdamped, the pointer will oscillate about the final position for some time before coming to rest. So in underdamped system, you can see in the diagram there are many oscillations, and the blue line indicates the upper linear blue line indicates the steady position. So in underdamped instrument, the pointer produce many oscillation to come to its final position. On the other hand, if the instrument is overdamped, the pointer will become slow and lethargic. So in overdamp, the pointer movements are very slow, so it takes more time to come to its final position. However, if the degree of damping is adjusted to such a value that the pointer comes up to the correct reading quickly without oscillating about it, the instrument is said to be critically damped. So you can see in diagram the critically damped has not much oscillations, and the time required to attain the final position is very less. So critically damped instrument is very better. In that instrument, the damping torque is proper and doesn't produce any oscillation of the pointer. So there are basically three types of damping torque. That is, there are three main methods to produce the damping torque, which are air friction damping, fluid friction damping and eddy current damping. First one is air friction damping. So in this method, the damping torque is produced by the moment of the air, or you can say the air is utilized to produce the damping torque in this system. So arrangement of air friction damping are shown in figure A and figure B. In the arrangement shown in figure A, a light aluminum piston is attached to the spindle that carries the pointer and moves with a very little clearance in a rectangular or circular air chamber closed at one end. The cushioning action of the air on the piston damps out any tendency of the pointer to oscillate about the final deflected position. This method is not favored these days, and the one shown in figure B is preferred. In this method, one or two light aluminum vanes are attached to the same spindle that carries the pointer. As the pointer moves, the vanes swing and compress the air. The pressure of the compressed air on the vanes provides the necessary damping force to reduce the tendency of the pointer to oscillate. So in this torque, in this method, when the pointer oscillates, then the piston also oscillates in the air chamber, and it produces some friction, that is, it produces some opposing torque to damp that oscillations. Next is fluid friction damping. So this is also the similar method. In this, only instead of air, fluid is utilized. In this method, disc or vanes attached to the spindle of the moving system are kept immersed in a pot containing oil of high viscosity. You can see in this diagram there is one disc in this oil, which is called as damping oil, and there is a disc in it. As the pointer moves, the friction between the oil and vanes opposes the motion of the pointer, and thus necessary damping is provided. So when the pointer deflects, then the disc also rotates in its opposite direction to damp that oscillations. The fluid friction damping method is not suitable for portable instruments because of the oil contained in the instrument. So this method is not suitable for portable instrument as they contain oil. In general, fluid friction damping is not employed in indicating instrument, although one can find its use in Kelvin electrostatic voltmeter. So they use in Kelvin electrostatic voltmeter to produce the damping torque. Next method is eddy current damping. This is the diagram which is used to produce the eddy current damping. So two methods of eddy current damping are generally used. In the first method, as shown in the figure, a thin aluminum or copper disc is attached to the moving system, is allowed to pass between the poles of a permanent magnet. As the pointer moves, the disc cuts across the magnetic field, and eddy currents are induced in the disc. These eddy currents react with the field of the magnet to produce a force which opposes the motion according to Lenz's law. According to Lenz's law, when the EMF is produced, which is opposes the cause behind its production. So it is called as Lenz's law. In this way, eddy current damping torque reduces the oscillations of the pointer. In the second method, the coil which produces the deflecting torque is wound on aluminum former. As coil moves in the field of the instrument, ED currents are induced in the aluminum former to provide the necessary damping torque. So in this method, ED currents are used to produce the necessary damping torque.